What's going on, guys? It's Timeless Being here, and I thought I would do a quick market update. Given the volatility we've seen in the last few days, I thought it was warranted to sort of give my insights of what's been happening. Before we continue, just want to state that this is the first time I've done a video of this nature, so do bear with me. If you do enjoy this style of commentary, I'll likely be making more in the future. Um, Before we proceed, though, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, BT. I've attached the links in the description below. They're an exchange that offers various legacy products, so you can trade the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, as well as your standard Forex pairs. And of course, they offer crypto. So if you're interested, do check the links below. Right, so let's just get right into it. Bitcoin has been sideways now for over a month. And looking at the weekly level here, sort of the weekly chart here, we can see that it's essentially been capped within this weekly ceiling and this weekly floor. And all I've done here is just taken the highest candle body close, as well as the highest candle body close to the downside. And we've got a range, right? So until this low gets taken out on a weekly closing basis, market structure on a higher time frame or time frame that's significant is still intact. So it's a bit ambiguous and it's a bit hard to call. I'm not 100%. I don't think anyone is 100% certain where this is going, but all you can do is just play the range while it lasts. So with that in mind, I'm just going to zoom in here into the daily level. So yeah, if you look here on a daily chart, on the left-hand side here, I call this the Elon Musk range. We went sideways here between, January, and we finally broke out in Feb. So that was also like a month of sort of ranging contractive behavior. And the reason why I want to point this area out is there's a lot of talk right now on CT about market structure being broken. If you zoom into this area over here, I mean, it's quite clear, we had a series of lower highs as well as lower lows. And I remember being sort of an active participant here and thinking, well, we might be breaking these levels to the downside, and we never did. Of course, Tesla ended up announcing their acquisition, and we went, launching off. The reason why I say that is if we look over here now, there's nothing different right now, right? We're just sort of going sideways in pretty much the same range, being capped by these weekly levels. But if you look at market structure, right, and if you were just to look at this independent in a vacuum, it looks awful. We had this higher high that came through, was quite a nice bullish signal, and basically the market's gone on to dump 30% in about a week. So that's been quite a vicious drop. And if you did catch any shorts up here, I mean, it's been super fruitful. But there's a lot of attention now to this sort of daily close here, and I can see the argument to be bearish. But until the range actually breaks, I think it's safe to say that the range is still intact. So jumping the gun and calling for much lower targets right now, I just think is just not the way to play this. So as you can see, we came down into this level yesterday. This wick low is sort of synonymous with that 19 May flush. We've run the stops down here. All the resting liquidity sort of been tapped into, and we got quite a nice sort of daily response. Moving into sort of the lower time frames, let's go into the 4-hour. Got this range here as well designated. You can see this quite clearly now. This area here was swept. If you've been following me on Twitter, I caught an entry over here, and naturally I was wrong. I thought that this 8th June low was going to be the springboard that propelled us up into this region here. We managed to sort of take out the stops residing here, but there are stops likely up here. So I thought that that would be sort of a logical target to aim for. Wasn't to be. And we've dropped, since. But fortunately, this is such a large range. It's about a $12,000 range that there's tons of opportunity to sort of play on the lower time frames. So I have to say this quite respectfully for some of the individuals saying that this is not a trade-worthy environment. I understand it's a different environment than what we've been given. The up-only narrative is really fun, but I think this is a great environment if you are willing to get in and out on the lower time frames and play level to level. And if we are presented with an extremity of the range where we are now, we're in the lower echelons of the range, I think we're setting up for a pretty decent swing play up to these highs here and potentially over here. Um, so it's going to be an interesting few days to see what happens. I do think right now, looking at what's occurred and the fact that we've sort of swept these lows here, I think it's quite safe to say that this is quite bullish in the short term. Um, so I'm going to be looking for some sort of swing entry to potentially target up here. And what that's going to look like is if we just sort of take this low that was made on the 24th of May, you can see it sort of capped the market here. Again, we had a response here. So I think if price is able to sort of make its way back down into this region, maybe undercut it as usual in Bitcoin fashion, start to reclaim it, get above this weekly level, I think that that's a pretty clear sign that the market is bid. And it would be a really easy place to sort of contextualize risk with a stop obviously below these lows here. And I think we could target the resting liquidity above us. Uh, I'm currently flat in a small intraday short, so we'll see how that goes. But ultimately, I'm looking to get filled here. So we'll see how that goes. I just wanted to do this quickly, and I'll be updating you as the week goes by. I hope you guys stay safe, trade well, and I'll catch up with you soon. Peace.